I mean, I don't think we expect the Arizona Wildcats to be anywhere near the college football playoff conversations. Not now, and or not before, and especially not now, because it just seems like hits just keep on coming for Arizona. The Wildcats lost another player to the transfer portal this past week, and it wasn't just any old random player; it was another linebacker. So, like, if that position group couldn't get any thinner, right? Kylan Wilborn announced his this past week that he is entering the transfer portal. Ryan, just kind of give me your thoughts on this. What do you think of Kylan Wilborn's decision to hit the transfer portal?
I mean, like I've said in the past, I mean, I don't blame his specific decision. I mean, if he can get a better opportunity somewhere else on a higher stage, I mean, props to him, and hopefully he does well. I mean, I still think this linebacking core has some young, talented players. Like, I'm looking at guys like Jalen Harris, Darian Clark. Like, these guys are versatile players that have played a lot of different positions, and like I think they have the best of both worlds with them too this year. With like they could pair like the speed and like the power, and I think they'll be better than expected back there.
Yeah, going back to Kylan Wilborn transfer, I think the thing was really interesting to me was the timing of this whole thing, right? Like why hit the transfer portal now, right? Like this isn't one of those situations like Colin Schooler and Tony Fields where they announced it, weeks ago, right? Like it was the timing was just so weird for me because a lot of schools have already started their classes, and most of the Power Five conferences have already playing games. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
Big Ten hasn't started yet, and so maybe we can see him go there, or maybe he can jump ship to another Pac-12 team. But like I don't know the ins and outs of like transfers and all that, but like I think aren't classes like mostly starting for like some of these guys? Like how do you enroll like this late into a semester? Like I don't. Is there any way that he's going to be able to play like right away? Like I have no idea how that's going to work. So
And even play, like, let alone like, is he going to have like a? Because like you don't want to just transfer somewhere to be on a roster. Like, is he going to be able to play like and have a lot of time and maybe start? Like that's probably his goal. But yeah, it doesn't. He doesn't have that many more years left, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this timing was right.
well, I mean, if he's going somewhere else to get playing time, like you're gonna get playing time in Arizona. Like Arizona has maybe like six linebackers on the roster right now. Like if I don't, there has to be something more to this where he had a better offer from somewhere and he already has something lined up. Like I don't know, just to kind of jump ship at this point just seems real interesting to me because like I know that the news came out Monday that he was leaving, and that was a few days after the Pac-12 had come together over the weekend and said that they were going to vote on the season. I think like once everyone heard the news that the Pac-12 was gonna, vote, I think we all assumed that the league was going to be coming back, right? So I don't think this is one of those situations where he's jumping ship because he wants to play for a team and the Pac-12's not playing, like Colin Schooler and like Tony Fields. Like I think that situation is not the same as Kylan Wilborn. So like I don't know. It was just this was a super weird one for me.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like, getting back to my feelings on Kevin Sumlin. It just doesn't look great on him when you just have like so many of your impact defensive players just keep transferring out. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it is going to open up a lot of playing time for these younger players who will hopefully shine this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the players know a sinking ship when they see one, right? But I mean, so where does this leave this linebacker group now? I mean, I know you briefly mentioned some of the players, but this position group was already in shambles, right? So I mean, now you have one more guy headed out. Like, what does this linebacker group look like right now?
It starts with Jalen Harris. I'm a big fan of him. He's gained 38 pounds since being a freshman. He played a little bit last year, but I think like if you can give him that big role and a lot of playing time, I think he can be that guy for the linebacking group. He's a very strong player. As I said, put on a lot of weight, and I think he's versatile. He can play in a lot of different areas on the defense.
I think it's certainly going to be a major issue for Paul Rhodes and his defensive group. I mean, because we already know that Paul Rhodes wants to install that new 3-4 defensive scheme, and in a 3-4 scheme, you want to have. I mean, ideally, you want to have at least 8 linebackers that you can rotate through on a 3-4. But I mean, there's no way Arizona has that many like on the roster right now. So I mean, maybe we see a last-minute defensive scheme change, or I don't know. But I do certainly think this is a huge deal for Arizona. I mean, it's certainly too late to, pick up a transfer from somewhere else at this point. I mean, maybe we can hit up BJ Foster and see what he's up to. I mean, I don't know if you saw that drama with him a few weeks ago at Texas where he walked out in the middle of the game. But he's a 5-star linebacker. Like, maybe hit him up, see what he's up to if he wants to play for Arizona. But like, I don't know. I mean, I think at this point it's just too late for a transfer. It's going to be kind of just whatever the team has now, and it's going to be a lot of plug and play. I mean, who do you think? Because there's obviously not enough linebackers right now on this position group to be shuffling through thoroughly, right? So, like, do you see anyone that can maybe make that move to make that transition to linebacker?
I don't know about that. No one comes to really mind, but a young player that I do think I really like is Coembo Watson, if I'm saying that correctly. I think he's the real deal. He has his breakaway speed and he's a game changer. And I think I think he could be an impact player this year if given an opportunity.
Yeah, I think if Jabbar Triplett is healthy enough for this season, I don't think he will be. He tore his ACL or his Achilles back, and I think March or April. I probably should have fact checked that, but it was earlier in the year, so that's usually like a 12-month process to kind of get back into it. I don't really see him being healthy for the upcoming season, but I mean, I'm still holding out for my boy Eddie Sayamahu. Like, please, Arizona, put him at middle linebacker. Like, he would make such a good linebacker. Like he played safety in high school. He's 6'3", like 250 pounds. Like, he fits that build of a middle linebacker so well. Like, I don't know why the official roster has him listed at defensive end. Like, at this point, I'm just praying that they put Sayamahu at middle linebacker because I think he can be a legit linebacker. And like, that's really the only person I can maybe see making that transition because, you can't move Jarius Wallace or Christian Young down to that spot because, they don't have enough safeties either to have that kind of depth to do that. So like, I don't know, maybe Jalen John